I'm Amber from Amber's Craft Week blog, and welcome back to my Pokemonbounding series. For today's episode, episode 5, we are going to be making a Vaporeon look. A lot of times I do a little sketch of my idea beforehand. This time around I didn't do one. So I'll show you the basic clothes I have for my Vaporeon look. I had this kind of plain basic bodysuit in turquoise from Forever 21. And then I found this skirt from Forever 21 as well. It was in their clearance section, so I'm not sure if they still have it or not anymore. But they did last time I was on there. And it has this little ruffly bit that kind of reminds me of Vaporeon's tail. It has the little ridges on it. So I thought this skirt would be perfect for the look as well. So that's the main part of the outfit. What we're going to be making today is a Vaporeon headpiece. So we're going to take a headband and we're going to add Vaporeon's little side of the head fins and that center of the head fin as well. Let's get started. To make the Vaporeon fin headband, you will need a copy of each of these templates. This one here is for the little side fins, and then this one goes on the top of Vaporeon's head. These templates I'll be posting to my craft blog, which I'll link to below. A headband. I went with a turquoise color that kind of matches Vaporeon's coloring. Some medium blue felt. Some light yellow or cream felt. Now the color is showing up wrong on the camera, but this is kind of a cream color. Vaporeon has yellow coloring on the inside of their fins, but the only yellow I had was a very bright yellow, so I thought this color was a little bit closer. We're also going to need some glue, some fabric glue or all-purpose adhesive. I'm going to be trying to add some wire, so I'm going to be using some wire. We'll see how that goes. And since we're using some wire, we'll also want some wire cutters. And lastly, we're going to want a fabric pen for tracing. Our first step is going to be to cut all our pieces out of felt. So we're going to need 2 copies of this whole outer shape, one facing this way, and one that's a mirror image, because those are going to be the fins on either side of Vaporeon's head. And that's going to come from our cream or yellow felt. We also want 2 copies of this whole outer shape, again from cream felt, and we're going to want one that's like this and one that's a mirror image again. From our blue felt, we're going to cut 2 copies of this upper triangle piece here, one facing this way and one that's mirrored. And then the same thing over here, we're going to cut 2 copies of this piece here, one facing this way and one that's mirrored. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out and then I'll be back. Now that we have all of our pieces of felt cut out, our next step is going to be to glue the blue pieces to the cream colored pieces. Now that all the blue pieces are glued on, the next thing I'm going to try to do is add in some wire. Now if we go back to our template, and I cut off the top piece to cut out those blue pieces, so that's why it looks a little different now. You can see I drew in these lines here and here. Those are kind of where the little indentations in Vaporeon's fins are, and we're going to try and follow those with some wire. So we're going to see if this works. It may or may not work. If it does work, that'll be awesome. If it doesn't work, that's okay too. So if we take that much wire, let's go back again. And it's okay if we cut off a little bit extra. We don't want too little. I think we cut right here. That's going to be right about exactly perfect. And so next we're going to try and glue that in on the back side, and we'll see how that goes. So flip the fin over. And I think it's probably going to be easier to add the glue to the felt than to the wire, so I'm going to do that. Looks like I missed it by a pretty good amount, so let's go back in. Let's try and bend our felt up around the wire a little bit so you kind of have that creased look on the front side. Yeah, honestly, I don't think that really adds anything, so how does that look on camera? You can kind of see it. It does seem to give a little bit of added stability, so I do like it for that. So yeah, I'll actually keep going with this. Originally I was thinking I might scrap the idea, but I think I'll keep going. And we're going to do the same thing with this bottom piece, so we'll grab our wire. I'm going to try doing the center fin next, I think. So we just need to have one piece of wire that goes like this, and then we're going to glue these two halves together. Alright, so now that we've got that on, we're going to try and glue this fin over top and hope for the best. So there's that fin, and then for completeness, we'll add a little wire to the back of this one. Alright, so we are almost done. While I was off camera, I went and cut out a strip of blue felt to kind of cover up the seam in the front, and I just eyeballed it. So this isn't part of the template or anything, but I just, because there was like an awkward gap where you could see the white coming through, I just added a little blue over the front, and I think that works fine. Now the final thing we have to do is glue all our fins down to the headband. So I'm going to do the side ones first, and then we'll work on the top one last, and then we're going to be done. And I may do the top one off camera because it's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to set it up somewhere else so I can kind of have it standing upright, but I can show you the side ones. Now I love this glue, but when it gets down low, for some reason it gets really hard to squeeze out. I'm not sure why that is, so there we go. Oops, we don't want to have the glue move back down, and we're just going to put this along the side like this. And I'm going to slide something under the end to kind of help raise it up a little bit. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side and the top. I'm going to do those off camera, and I'll show you the finished result. Here is the finished look. Now, quick note, so originally I was using that all-purpose adhesive you saw. That was not holding up the fins at all. So I had this Dazzle Tack rotary glue that I put on. It's supposed to dry for 24 hours, but I didn't have 24 hours for this, so it's only been drying for about an hour maybe. But it is holding up pretty well so far, and I imagine if you let it dry the full 24 hours, it will dry even better. So if you're trying to make this for yourself, you'll definitely want a stronger adhesive for mounting your fins to your headband. But otherwise, I think it came out very well. I'm quite pleased with this look. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd love it if you gave it a like or let me know in the comments. If you like crafts, then you can check out my craft blog, amberscraftweek.blogspot.com, which I'll link to below. And if you have specific Pokemon you'd like to see me dress up as, feel free to let me know in the comments. I've already done a handful of Pokemon as part of my Pokemonbounding series, so if you haven't seen those yet, be sure to check those out. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.